Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Common English Mistakes. Don't just learn, improve. So today we're going to look at the past perfect. Not an easy part of grammar, but we're going to look at the structure, when to use it, importantly when not to use it, some context where you might, and also why it's important to know this structure for other areas of grammar. So anyway, the mistake is up here. I ate the lasagna I have made the night before. So just pause the video and try to correct the sentence. And well done if you said, I ate the lasagna I had made the night before. So firstly, just make sure you know the structure really well. This is where I hear the first mistake. Subject, had, past participle or V3. If a negative, hadn't. And we're going to use it when we have two time periods in the past. And the past perfect we're going to use for the earlier, further back in the past time period. So that being said, just pause the video and try to correct this sentence. When I was a child, I had liked Scooby-Doo. And well done if you said here we just have one time period, so we're just going to use past simple, past simple. When I was a child, I liked Scooby-Doo. And this is probably the main mistake I hear with past perfect. If there's just one time period, and this is most of the time, we just need to use past simple. Next up, I hear this mistake a bit. By the time the train arrived, I was waiting for 2 hours. So just pause the video, try to correct this. And well done here if you said waiting for 2 hours is a continuous action, but again it happens before, so we need the past perfect continuous. Subject, had, been, verb ing. I had been waiting for 2 hours. And as we've seen with present perfect continuous, it can be a continuous action, but also a repeated action over time. For example, before his injury, he had been playing football 3 times a week. So that's the basic structure and grammar. What I find is, because we don't use it very often, it is difficult to know when to use it. However, there are some phrases and words which you're going to use with past perfect. For example, ever and never. It was the first competition I had ever won. Or, before I went to Italy, I had never been on a plane. Also, like we use superlatives with present perfect, we're going to use past perfect with superlatives in the past. It was the most important thing I had ever done. Also for and since in the past. When I left my job, I had been working there for 5 years. And if it's an action verb, probably using past perfect continuous. And also with the preposition by or the phrase by the time. For example, by the time we arrived at the station, the train had already left. So those are some situations where you're going to have to use past perfect or past perfect continuous. But why it's really important to know this structure absolutely automatically is that we use it with other things. For example, third conditional. If it hadn't been raining, we would have gone to the beach. We use it with wishes. I wish I had gone to that concert. And also with reported speech. I haven't eaten lunch. She said she hadn't eaten lunch. I'll cover those structures in more detail in future videos, but I always recommend students to Google past perfect continuous exercises and just practice, practice, practice until it's automatic. It will really help you with other things. So anyway, explanation over. Now let's practice and improve. Just pause the video and put either past simple for the more recent, closer to now time period, or past perfect continuous for the time period further back in the past. And well done if you said, I checked out the restaurant my friend had told me about. Check out's a really useful phrasal verb, which means to try and experience something. Restaurants, films, music. By the time I was 18, I had been learning Spanish for 5 years. I had never left my country before I went to France. When I got off the train, I realised I had left my umbrella earlier. And then The Shining was the scariest film I had ever seen as a teenager. And finally, I went to the doctor because I had been having headaches. Again, that repeated action over time, you're going to use your continuous tense. So good job if you got all those correct. Now just pause the video and write, say, or discuss the same sentences for you. And finally, today's question: what was the last thing you'd really been looking forward to, and why? Write your answers in the comments, guys. Always interesting to hear what you got to say, and a good chance to practice. So that's basically it for today. Like I said, not really a structure we use that often, but very, very important to know because we use it with these other grammatical structures, like third conditional, which we're going to cover next week. Anyway, that's it from me today. Once again, if you found the video useful, interesting, do make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in another video in the next couple of days. Until then, see ya!